the young, and the restless spoilers. Victoria Newman sat in her elegant office, her mind swirling with frustration and concern as she pondered the latest developments in her daughter Claire's life. The constant battle over Harrison, the young boy caught between Summer and Claire, had taken its toll on everyone involved. Victoria, a woman who had faced more than her share of challenges, was growing weary of the never-ending drama that seemed to cling to her family like a shadow. It was time to put an end to this madness, once and for all. Victoria couldn't understand why Claire was so entangled in the fight for Harrison. The child was Tara's son, and no matter how much Summer or Claire wanted to claim him as their own, the reality was that Harrison's heart belonged elsewhere. Victoria had seen enough of these complicated family dynamics to know that, in the end, blood ties often trumped everything else. And she feared that when Tara inevitably returned, both Summer and Claire would be pushed out of Harrison's life, leaving them with nothing but heartache. Why doesn't Claire just have her own child? Victoria mused aloud, pacing the floor as she considered the situation. Surely, a child of her own would bring her more joy and fulfillment than this endless tug-of-war over Harrison. Victoria had always been practical, and in her eyes, the solution was simple. If Claire and Kyle were serious about their relationship, then they should be thinking about starting a family of their own. Harrison might be a charming and sweet boy, but he was not their child. No amount of love or care could change that fundamental fact. Victoria believed that the best way for Claire to secure her future and ensure her happiness was to conceive a child with Kyle. Claire, young and vibrant, had all the potential in the world to be a wonderful mother. Unlike Summer, who had always struggled with her health, Claire was in the prime of her life, with the strength and vitality to carry a pregnancy to term. Victoria knew that Kyle, for all his flaws, would make a devoted father, and having a child together could solidify their bond in a way that nothing else could. But when Victoria broached the subject with Claire, she was met with resistance. Claire, ever the independent spirit, was hesitant to take such a life-altering step. Despite the love she and Kyle shared, Claire wasn't ready to commit to something as serious as motherhood. There were too many doubts lingering in her mind, too many uncertainties about the future. Could she really trust Kyle? Was their love strong enough to withstand the pressures of parenthood? And most importantly, was this what she truly wanted, or was it simply what others expected of her? Claire's refusal to consider pregnancy frustrated Victoria, but she understood her daughter's need for freedom. Claire had always been a free spirit, someone who valued her independence and cherished the ability to make her own choices. Victoria respected that, but she also knew that the path Claire was on could lead to more pain and disappointment. If you're not ready to have a child with Kyle, then maybe it's time to let go of this whole situation, Victoria advised, her tone firm yet compassionate. Let Summer and Kyle sort out their issues on their own. There's no need for you to be caught up in their mess. Focus on yourself, on your career, and on what makes you happy. Victoria's words were laced with concern, but also with a hint of impatience. She had always seen Kyle as a source of trouble, a man who, despite his good intentions, seemed to attract chaos wherever he went. She didn't want Claire to be dragged down by the inevitable drama that surrounded him, especially when there were so many other opportunities waiting for her. Claire listened to her mother's advice, the weight of Victoria's words settling heavily on her shoulders. She knew her mother was right, at least in part. The constant back and forth over Harrison had taken a toll on her, and it wasn't something she could continue indefinitely. But letting go wasn't as easy as it sounded. There was a part of Claire that genuinely cared for Harrison, a part of her that wanted to be there for him, to provide the stability and love that his tumultuous life so desperately needed. But at what cost? Claire asked herself this question repeatedly. Was it worth sacrificing her own happiness, her own sense of self, just to stay involved in a situation that was never really hers to begin with? Claire wasn't sure. And the more she thought about it, the more she realized that her mother might have a point. Victoria, sensing Claire's internal struggle, pressed on. You have so much potential, Claire. So much to offer the world. Don't let yourself get bogged down in a situation that will only bring you pain. You deserve better than this. You deserve to be happy.